Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a special Musical People and Journeys show, because we've had a submission which we are going to review, which is going to be released in February, and that is from a band called Adam and the Hellcats and their album Catalyst, which is due out on February the 3rd. And we come across this band because they're touring with Hearts and Hand Grenades in March, which are a Hall of Fame band that are coming over to the from the US, and they're going to be supporting those guys. And it just so happens they're releasing a brand new album, and also we've done an interview with Adam and the Hellcats, which you can find on our channel. It is a really cool interview, and it's really, for us as a podcast and all about the journey, it is a fascinating kind of interview, and seeing a band such as this and the progress they're making and when they get into. However, we will pull no punches if the album is absolutely atrocious, but we were going to find that out. So there's 4 of us who reviewed the album. Dave, who's supposed to be with us today, who's part of our normal crew, he is not well, and so, but he has listened to the album, and he has sent his scores in. So Adam and the Hellcats. Let's start with you, Paul, because we're interested in the interview, so it'd be quite good to kind of get your view on this to start with, then, because this is an album, and the album's not been released, so we just got a lot of MP3 files down, and so trying to put that into an order, it's sometimes a bit difficult. You don't maybe sometimes get the flow of the album. But what did you think of the band Adam and Hellcats on their album Catalyst?
Well, for once, I'm at a disadvantage. You probably know more about them than I do now, because I haven't.
We do, Paul. Well, we can set you right, brother.
Okay, so from what I have found out, is Adam and the Ants are an 8-piece
Adam
band.
and the Hellcats, not Adam and the Ants. Oh. Adam and the Ants.
Oh dear. Okay, the Hellcats are an 8-piece band hailing from Bristol, although they only post 5 band members on their website, so there could have been some changes. Catalyst is their follow-up album to their close-out release from 2021, which was a very raw, punkish metal session that almost felt like a live set experience. The Demon song is already been released and is on Spotify. It's a cool track where all the band show their strengths in a cohesive composition, giving a big band sound. The album kicks off with What the Cat Dragged In. It's great musically, but doesn't really come to life until Kerwin enters the scene after about a minute. Battle Cry should have kicked off the album, in my opinion, as is a strong anthem song that is going to go down well in gigs. Black Witch has a Shakespeare Sisters vibe, but definitely allows Kerwin to demonstrate her considerable vocal talents. Out in the Night demonstrates how Kerwin and Adam vocally work together best together, although I'm not sure if the keyboard deserves the musical lead that it has throughout the track. Unfortunately, Adam's lead is not as strong, vocal lead is not as strong as some of the other tracks like Captain Black, which is the strangest composition on the album, as it kind of just stops about 3/4 of the way through and then starts up again. Having said that, I really enjoyed Adam and the Hellcats, as they are different to everyone else. They have a lead singer in Kerwin that has a vocal appeal to take the band to a wider audience. The compositions could be tighter and more efficient. I'm on the fence about the keyboard arrangements, as on times it sounds more of a distraction than anything. And I think Adam should be singing less on the album, to be honest, but that's my opinion.
Oh,
Trish.
Hey. Obviously, like you said, we got the MP3 files, so my running order was obviously quite different to Paul's, and I actually started with Battle Cry, which made me excited for what the rest of the album was going to be like. The album definitely had like a punk sound, Sex Pistols influence and grunge, a distinctive sound which normally isn't my bag. But after a second listen, you can see how their music has developed from their previous albums and singles. Kerwin's vocals on Black Witch Bomb are shown to their full potential to me. My favourite track was End of the Line. That hit my rock sweet spot. The album is definitely more polished and they are evolving as a band. It's a fun and catchy album worth checking out and may surprise you as it did me.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, first of all, I actually quite enjoyed the album. What did I enjoy about it most? And actually, I listened to the album before we kind of did the interview, and so I had already my opinion set in, and it was very obvious that that what Adam is definitely trying to do, and I think what came across and what my opinion was about the album was there's definitely a strong diversity in there of ideas and musicality. You know, we've just reviewed a lot of albums in 23 which are incredibly generic, and I wouldn't call this at all generic. When I first when I checked them out, when I heard that they were going to be touring with Hearts and Hand Grenades, I had to listen to Claws or what was on Amazon Music, and I went, oh really? Oh god, they're very punk rocky. And I agree exactly that I had that vibe from you, Paul, and the same vibe that you had, and obviously this album is nothing like it. Though there are some songs which, like Scumbag and stuff, which just kind of falls into that, and I don't think that they should be playing that arena. I think the mixture of the keyboards and the music, yes, maybe they could tone down the keyboards a little bit, but it's basically on guitar. They're on a guitar rather than a guitar, and I think it works. And I love, particularly the first half of the album. I absolutely adored it. I think it was terrific. I think it was an explosion of different musical flavours that combined sweetly. Really good work. And I, having met Al, and it's a very interesting conversation that he had. He went outside for a cigarette, and the guys were jamming to an ACD track, and Kerwin was singing that, and he was out there going. And you could see, and we relived the moment with him, didn't we, Trish? Because it was obviously, oh my God, that girl can sing. That girl can sing, and he went back in there and said, "You've got to take more on lead." So I think it's a developing there, and his dad plays on the drums. His dad Tony plays on the drums, and his dad also, and you'll see from the interview, has written the song, and the key guitarist also written a song which is called "A Hearse," which is actually my favourite of those tracks. And so there's definitely what he's doing, and we were a bit nervous, weren't we, Trish? Because we went, oh my God, this interview could potentially just be about Adam. Because I said, oh, the Hellcats going to join. And he went, no, it's just going to be me. And I'm going like, oh, I hope this isn't just going to be all about just Adam and his journey. And as you'll discover from the interview, that it's certainly not. There's a lot of these band members, and you're right, Paul. Apparently, it was an 8-piece band, and there's been an acrimonious split with some of the members of the band last year, and I think that's potentially made them stronger because he's obviously looking to develop other people in the band and for them to come on this journey with him. And he suffers with autism as well. So this is, I think this is actually, and one of the reasons I said, well, I felt that the sound quality sometimes is missing, but when you look at the fact that he did this in his bedroom, almost his studio is his room, kudos to him. It's not bad. The mixing is not bad. It's pretty damn good. It's at a good standard, better than some of the stuff that we've listened to, which have had a lot more money thrown at them. I think this band and this particular album has a huge amount of potential. Here. I think there's something there, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And we've reviewed a ton of albums, so we know good stuff, and we know when some of a band is trying to bring something new, and I hope they get the exposure that they potentially deserve. Or will they? Let's find out. Now. Obviously, Dave has sent his stuff in. So to get into our and bearing in mind, to get in our top. Thing, they needed like an average of 3.6. Now normally we have 5 votes, but there's only really 4 here, so we might have to work that out retrospectively in terms of where they want to get to. But I suppose a good score of 13 plus with 4 might well get them into our top 50 albums of all time. I mean, it's going to get rated. So let's find out, shall we, Paul? Then let's start with you. You were going to give Adam and the Hellcats
At 2.5.
At 2.5. Okay, you don't think it was better than average?
No, there were certain songs like "Thank You." I mean, it's a waste of vinyl if it was on a vinyl. If you ask me, I don't know. He perhaps he was thanking his parents, his fellow band members, the NHS. I don't know, but it just droned on. You know, it just went thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and so forth. He did say a few words, but yeah, and a few other songs just didn't do it. So yeah,
Okay.
it was a 2.5.
Trish.
But like you said, like I've already pointed out, I think Kerwin needs to take more of the song lead. I think if Adam is supporting her in where she, vocally or what have you, they're in a position to be a stronger band in the future and produce stronger stuff. Yeah.
Trish.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5, Trish. 4 out of 5. Dave, who's not here, what do you think Dave would give this album?
3.5.
Paul?
2.5, 3.
Yeah, 3.5. So, and Dave is quite a harsh critic, but obviously that kind of resonated. It would have been interesting what Chris would have given it, but I think he'd been harsh. I also give it a 3.5. I enjoyed the album. I really did. But I go with you, Paul. I think there was a ceiling. I think you're right. Thank You was a bit naff, and Scumbag was a bit naff. But there was enough in there, particularly with Battle Cry and Call the Hearst, and and a few other tracks where you think, oof, it's quality. It's absolute quality. So well done. I'm looking forward to seeing them live. Just don't play Scumbag live, please, on the tour. Or thank you very much. Let's do while we're live on air. Let's do this. So they've got 7.5, 6.5, 10, 13.5. Which is pretty darn good, really. With 4 votes, probably should have done this
you could average it and add that average on top.
Absolutely, you do. Probably, absolutely, you do. So there we go. So they would have scored an average. What did I say? 13, wasn't it? 13.5. So 13.5, wasn't it? Divided by 4, 3.37, I think. So it's definitely going to get on our top. Definitely in our top 50 albums, I reckon. But we'll get that checked out. So I'll run it along the bottom for you aficionados at the bottom of our screen. So there we go. Adam and the Hellcats, the Catalyst or Catalyst, released on February the 3rd. So go and check out the website or go and check it on various different sites. I think he was saying we've sent it, but it'll be on Spotify and Amazon. But if you want to go and support the band and come and watch them with us, we're going to be watching them at the cart. It's a Cart and Horses, isn't it, in London?
Yep.
Where in March, and go and check them out. They're also going to be with White Raven Down, who we are interviewing this week. So also check that out. And please, if you're interested, check out their interview. It's quite fascinating. So, thank you very much for joining us, and good luck for everybody, and keep on rocking. Thank you, Trish, and thank you, Paul.